I'll mention vulnerability throughout this course, and vulnerability management is a continuous process to identify, assess, remediate, and report on discovered vulnerabilities. As part of this process, the number of vulnerabilities can be very high across an organisation, often exceeding the number of staff able to deal with them. To help manage more effectively, each vulnerability needs to be prioritised according to severity. And this makes sense because you don't want to spend all your time remediating easy-to-fix vulnerabilities when high-risk vulnerabilities are left ignored. This could be disastrous for an organisation. Prioritisation makes management slightly easier to deal with, as an organisation can focus on the most critical vulnerabilities first, using the finite security resources more wisely. And we also need to do something with the vulnerabilities. Identifying, prioritising and reporting alone is not enough. Reduction of vulnerabilities is achieved by using either a compensating control, which is something else to protect the vulnerability, leaving the vulnerability as it is, or fix the vulnerability directly by patching and updating software, or removing the vulnerability altogether through code removal. There should always be some response to vulnerabilities. Whatever the alerting mechanism is, a review process has to exist. If a vulnerability is later used to help an attacker compromise an organisation, it would be impossible to defend if it was disclosed at a later date the company knew the vulnerability existed but did nothing. These types of outcomes will often hit a company financially and reduce hard-earned reputation. Usually, more often than not, a fix to a vulnerability will be available, and that's the good news. It's better to research and find that fix within your organisation before it becomes public knowledge. And if the vulnerability is serious enough, public knowledge before internal mitigation can lead to panic to fix or an embarrassing news headline. As soon as you have that fix, apply it, not only to the current version of software, but also consider past versions too. Any software that is not documented as out of support will need to apply the fix. And finally, let interested parties know mitigation and vulnerability management is taking place. Even colleagues who are not immediately involved in security or the software project should be included. It's always useful to share the good work being done. Don't let it go unrecognised. And sometimes sharing this success widely can lead to the discovery of other areas in an organisation that have no vulnerability management in place.